Dear children, the topic of the day is the making of nationalism in Europe. If you look at the map of mid 18th century Europe, you will find that there was no nation states as we know them today. Germany, Italy, and Switzerland were divided into kingdoms, duchies, and cantons. Eastern and Central Europe were under autocratic monarchies, within the territories of which lived diverse people. They did not see themselves as sharing a collective identity or a common culture. What a nation states mean. Here is an example of an empire which was known as the Habsburg Empire that ruled over Austria, Hungary. For example, it was a patchwork of many different regions and people. It included the Alpine regions, the Tyrol, Austria, and the Sudetenland, as well as Bohemia, where the aristocracy was predominantly German speaking. It also included the Italian speaking provinces of Lombardy and Venetia. In Hungary, half of the population spoke Magyar, while the other half spoke a variety of dialects. In Galicia, the aristocracy spoke Polish. Beside these three dominant groups, there also lived within the boundaries of the empire a mass of subjects, peasants, peoples, Bohemians, Slovakas to the north, Slovenes in Carniolo, Croats to the south, Romans to the east. In Transylvania, in the given image, you can see a brief description of the Habsburg Empire. Now we'll switch over the division of the French society. French society was divided into three subgroups: aristocracy, peasantry, and the middle class. They were the dominant class on the continent. Aristocracy. They were united by a common way of life and they speak French. They were a small group of the society. Now we will switch over to the next topic, liberal nationalism. The term liberalism is taken from the Latin word liber, which means free. The ideology of liberalism emerged, which ended the state interference in the economic life of society. Freedom of markets was achieved and state-imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and capital were abolished. Napoleon's administrative measures were altered. For the new middle classes, liberalism stood for freedom for the individual and equality for all before the law. In 1834, a custom union or Zollverein was formed. You can see in the image two ideas of educated middle class. They want nation unity and liberal nationalism, and two problems are as follows. Zollverein abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currency from 30 to 2. Now we will switch over to the next topic, a new conservatism after 1815. In 1815, Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria collectively defeated Napoleon. To make a settlement, a treaty was signed in 1815. According to the provisions of this treaty, the Bourbon dynasty was restored to power. France lost the territories it had annexed under Napoleon. A series of states was set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. In 1815, European powers met at Vienna to draw up a settlement for Europe and signed the Treaty of Vienna of 1815. A series of states were set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. Netherlands and Belgium took after the north boundaries. Genoa and Piedmont were in the south. Austria and northern Italy, Russia and new territories on its western frontiers. Russia and Poland, Prussia was given a part of Saxony. In the given image, you can see how was Napoleon defeated. Now, conservatism I have already discussed with you. These are the points you can see under the Treaty of Vienna. As you can see in the image, the points of the Treaty of Vienna, and you can use it as your notes. As I told you, Prussia, Russia and Austria were given something in this treaty. Britain we will discuss at the end. Now we will discuss the next topic, the revolutionaries. During the years following 1815, the fear of repression drove many liberal nationalists underground. Secret societies sprang up in many European states to train revolutionaries and spread their ideas. Most of these revolutionaries saw the creation of nation states as an essential part of this struggle for freedom. The Italian revolutionary Giuseppe Mazzini was the member of the secret society of the Carbonari. Mazzini believed that God had intended nations to be the natural units of mankind, so Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and kingdoms. It had to be forged into a single united republic within a wider alliance of nations. Mazzini's relentless opposition to monarchy and his vision of democratic republic frightened the conservatives. Metternich described him as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. You can see the image of Giuseppe Mazzini in the video. He was an Italian revolutionary and the member of the secret society in Carbonari. Now we will discuss just a revision dates. The dates we discussed you can see in the image. Thank you children.